Welcome again to Interview Central on the Racing Fans. Tonight we sit down with Justin Bonsignore in a one-on-one exclusive interview. We'll discuss his remarkable victory at Thompson Speedway last weekend, as well as talking with him about the rest of his season in the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour. That all begins next, live on Interview Central. Well, first off, congrats on the win last weekend, and how are you doing this evening, Justin?
I'm doing great, and I really appreciate the congrats.
Now, can you elaborate on what your, gut reaction was when you climbed from your machine after clinching the win?
It's been a long time coming. We've put a lot of work and effort into rebuilding our team and getting ourselves right in the right direction, and it was a huge relief when we were able to win the race on Sunday.
Now, this was only your fourth career win, and a huge one nonetheless. How does this one compare to your other triumphs in the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour?
They're all really, really big wins, and anytime you can get to victory lane in our series, it's a huge accomplishment because the competition is so close. But I think with all the changes we went through over the winter, this one definitely ranks up there at the top.
Do you feel like after the win, you've really set the tone early? How will that help you to continue to improve each week and post more great results?
Well, I mean, our series is really tough, so it's hard to say we set the tone. But it just gets us off on the right foot, gives the team a lot of momentum, and definitely would rather start the season off with a win than having a bad finish. It just gets everything going in the right direction, and hopefully moving forward we can continue this type of little bit of a hot streak we're on.
Now, with 17 more days until the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour's next event at Stafford Motor Speedway, do you wish they had more events in between races, or is it a perfect break to prepare for the next race?
This is a pretty nice break to start the season. It gets us slowly into things. We can continue working on the cars and making them a little better and getting stuff ready here at the shop. But we're just as busy. I'll be racing the next 2 weekends on the Valente Modified Tour, so no rest for me, but it's good for the team. We can celebrate this win a little bit longer and continue to prepare the team for the rest of the season before it gets into the grueling weeks of the summer.
Now, what track this season that you've never visited at Victory Lane at would you like to kind of mark off your list?
Well, without a doubt, it'd have to be New Hampshire or Bristol. Those are two really big events, especially in our series. And you couldn't ask for more. They're both nationally televised. It would be a lot of fun and really cool to be able to get a trophy at one of those tracks.
Now, I know you mentioned New Hampshire there. How would you like to see a night race there? I know that's been kind of a hot topic in NASCAR these past few weeks about whether to add the lights there or not. Do you agree with that?
I read a little bit about that. I mean, anytime you put race cars out under the lights, it's definitely adds a little bit more to the event. So I think it would be cool. Hopefully, if they do, that the modifieds would be added to the night show. We enjoy racing at night. I think it's exciting, and the way the draft works for our cars at Loudon, I think it would be really cool under the lights.
So, can you also maybe add a little bit about possibly what track would you like to see added to the series in the Northern Modified Tour? I know we have a lot of great tracks, but is there anyone that you really think that we should add?
Yeah, I mean, they used to race at Richmond. It hasn't been on our schedule in a bunch of years now, but everybody I spoke to that had raced there in the past said Richmond was one of the coolest places to run a modified. So that's probably the one place we'd love to see the cars go back to.
So I was looking at some of your stats here, and every single race that you went to Victory Lane and you start at second position, has that kind of become one of your, hot positions to start from, or is there really nothing to go with that?
That's something I never even knew, so that's a pretty cool little stat. I guess we'll just have to qualify second a little bit more, but definitely when you start up in the top couple positions on our tour, the competition's so close. So starting in the top 2, 3, even 5 definitely makes your day a little bit easier, and you don't have to work as hard on your tires, and you can save your race car for when it counts late in the race.
Now, you've never experienced really, I'm going to double check myself, but tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think you've ever had a top 5 finishing position in the final standings at the end of the year. How much would that mean to you if you could even get up there this season and finish in the top 5?
Oh, that'd be huge. Like I said, we went through a lot of changes this year within our team, and if we'd be able to come out of the top in the top 5 in points this year, it'd be a big accomplishment. We haven't been able to do that yet as a team. We've been knocking on the door. We've just been a little inconsistent as a whole over the course of a season. So hopefully we can put that type of season together, and hopefully it works out where we can contend for the title when it gets late in the season.
Now, these past few seasons, you've had 7 top 5 finishes in 2011, 5 in both 2012 and 2013. How many top 5s are you gunning for this season?
I mean, if we could finish in the top 5 every week, that would be great. But sometimes you just have to be realistic about things. You know, things happen in racing, whether you get caught up in a wreck or you have a mechanical failure. So it's going to take, to be in contention at the end of the year, it's going to take almost 10 top 5s out of 14 to make a run at that championship. So that's our goal every week, is to get to the top 5, and we'll see. Hopefully that'll result in a few more wins, but we'll take what we can get each week, and we'll see how it all plays out.
We've never really seen you venture out into any other levels or series in motorsports. Sometimes I've seen you in the SKs and stuff like that. But will we see you compete in the Southern Modified Series at all this year, or possibly a full-body stock car? If so, when and what series, and possibly where at?
Oh, I would love to put a deal together to run the Southern Tour race at either Bowman Gray or Charlotte. I grew up on little bull rings like that at Riverhead Raceway here on my own. So I'd love to run either of those events, especially Bowman Gray with the history and all the great years they've had over there. I'd like to be a part of that. But other than that, we are committed to run the Valente Modified Tour full-time with the Art Barry number 21 car. Other than that, that really takes up a lot of my time. I have about almost 50 races scheduled this year. I don't have any full-body stuff on the schedule, but if anything ever comes up, you definitely you're not against hearing what people have to offer, and would love to do any type of race that we can get in. I'm a racer. If I can race now, I'm going to do it.
Now you're 26 years old. What's, I guess, your biggest goal this season and really heading forward into the rest of your career?
Just to, at our level of racing, it's still, we work, a regular 9-to-5 job, so it's supposed to be fun. And it's still really serious, but I mean, I'd love to win a championship. Hopefully multiple championships later in my career. Or hopefully, we can start that this year. But just looking to have a lot of fun and have a good time with the crew and the team and even your fellow competitors. But definitely would like to win a couple championships before I finally decide to call it quits. But I don't think that'll be anytime soon.
Okay, now this next section on Interview Central, we're going to have our kind of rapid fire session, which is basically where I shoot you a question, you reply with what you prefer the most between the two. So let's just have some fun here.
Okay, cool.
Alright, what do you prefer, basketball or baseball?
Baseball, New York Yankees, man.
Crabs or shrimp?
Neither, don't eat seafood.
Now I'll go back to that basketball or baseball. I might want to throw in my own comment here. I actually prefer the Baltimore Orioles, and I know we just beat you 2 games in a row, I believe, so you guys got to step it up.
Man, you're killing me, man. That's not cool. No, but it's all good fun. But, we got 27 World Championships. I don't know how many you guys got.
Not that much at all. All right, science or math?
Oof. Depends on the science, but I'd have to go with science. I'm not big on math.
Okay, Danica Patrick or Ricky Stenhouse?
Danica Patrick. I don't want to look at Stenhouse. She's a lot prettier.
All right, zebras or hippos?
Oh, man. I'd say zebra. They look cool.
Okay, ham or turkey?
Ham, without a doubt.
Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Christmas.
Okay, so that's I guess our time of fun. Now let's get into some non-racing related questions. These are already some of my favorites. So if you could visit one country outside the United States, which would it be and why?
I'd like to go to Italy. Had some family, a couple generations ago came from Italy, so I'd like to go back. Not go back, but I'd like to go there and see if I could trace some of my ancestry. I think that would be really cool.
If you could compete against one other, I guess, sports star, who would it be and why?
have to say Derek Jeter. Just such a professional on and off the field, and great ambassador for his sport. I think he's probably a really cool guy to meet.
So, I guess this is kind of ridiculous, but who's your favorite character on the hit TV show SpongeBob?
SpongeBob. I like Patrick, the pink guy. I think he's pretty funny.
I gotta agree with you there. So, let's turn this around. Now, you're the interviewer, and I'm the, driver now. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, how old are you?
Well, I'm actually 13 years old, and I've been doing this for a while now, and you don't know how much this means for you, taking your time to do an interview with me. So yeah, I'm 13 years old, turning 14 in August, just pursuing that journalism and broadcasting career.
Nice. Have you ever raced anything? Go-karts? Anything?
I used to do go-karts at one of my local tracks in Chestertown, Maryland, but it kind of fell off after my brother got a concussion, and, Mom and Dad said, end of that.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. I raced go-karts for a long time, so that's really cool. I've actually heard of Chestertown. Danica or Stenhouse?
Well, I'm going to have to go with Danica. There's a lot more features there.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Favorite type of race car?
Well, NASCAR is always good. However, I do love me some modifieds, but my heart and soul lives with the K&N East Series.
Oh, taxi cabs. Killing me. One more question. Let's see. Favorite Cup driver?
Oh, man. Getting touchy there. Well, I guess I wouldn't say I have a favorite Cup driver. I like to see a multitude of drivers win. However, I can say that I do prefer... I guess I could say that I like to see Jamie McMurray win. I think he's got a lot of composure on and off the racetrack. He's able to hold himself on the racetrack, and man, his voice is awesome.
That's pretty funny. My uncle is the tire specialist on Jamie McMurray's car, so that's a cool little connection right there.
Yeah, I guess it is, man. Man, I guess let's go back to racing here for a couple of seconds. You've completed 8,065 laps in the Wheel and Modified Tour. That seems like a lot. How many do you think you can accomplish before your career ends?
Well, that's in 4 years, so, if that's about 2,000 a year, and hopefully that was probably with a few DNFs, so, I'd like to race for another 15, 20 years. I'm really young still, so, I would think almost 50,000 laps, I would say, just on the tour.
Man, you're going to be the Tour King, I guess. Now, we've watched the UNOH showdown at Daytona these past few years. Do you wish, now that the K&N Series have kind of added that to their point schedule, do you wish that would also translate over to the mods?
I think it's a little difficult with us because of the northern and the southern modified tours. I wouldn't say to open the season as a points race between the two. I think it would just open up too much of a can of worms. You look at Creases, for an example, was leading, almost dominates the whole race and gets taken out by a lap car. So I'd hate for that to be for points. I think the 20,000 is enough of a perk to get everybody to go down there and race. So I think we should stick with the tradition and open up at the icebreaker every year, and that's fine by me.
Now I'm going to ask you this. Yeah, I know I touched on what for this season, I guess your rest of the career, but do you have any ultimate goal to reach, possibly maybe a couple starts in a NASCAR Nationwide Series or Truck Series ride?
Yeah, if the situation presented itself, I would love to be able to do it, but racing is it's a tough sport to move up in right now. The economy really is putting tough times on a lot of drivers, and it takes a lot of money to be able to move up to another level, but if the situation presented itself, I would definitely like to, get to that point and, attempt it and see how we can make out. But it would only be if I could do it the right way with a really good team and stuff like that. I'm not into just saying, hey, I started a nationwide race. I want to do it and have a shot to contend.
Okay, so that'll conclude another edition of Interview Central. Thanks to Justin Bonsignore for joining us. Is there anyone you'd like to thank, sponsors, family, friends, bud?
I'd just like to thank my M3 technology team. They do everything we need to contend for race wins, and hopefully we can just continue to get a few more this season.
Alright, remember to check out Justin Bonsignore on social media and like this video. Also, good luck to Justin for the rest of the racing season.